Hey everybody, welcome to Baker Banter on this Thursday night, as you may be listening here on Friday, heading into this Kentucky Derby weekend, and happy Cinco de Mayo. I actually had a little trouble figuring out if I wanted to drink some whiskey or tequila here, seeing that it's Derby weekend and Cinco de Mayo. So welcome Trent, welcome Trey.
How you doing, guys?
Hello, hello.
So what we're going to get into tonight, we're going to talk about some baseball. We're going to kind of swing back around with some conversations that we had last week with NHL hockey playoffs. We'll do a little bit of recap with the NFL draft, see what teams we thought won the draft, what teams lost the draft, maybe some surprises too that we saw. And then we will actually finish things up with Kentucky Derby. All right, just a little bit of our bets on the winners. Kind of gives you a reason to celebrate something that maybe not celebrate a whole lot, but looking at the Kentucky Derby stuff. So, you guys want to jump right into MLB baseball here?
I say we do it.
All right. Trey, I'll let you kind of start us off here with some teams you're looking at, some players, what surprises you. What are we looking at?
Yeah, I think one of the surprises so far to start this year is, and to be honest, they've surprised the last couple of years with how poorly they've played given their roster, and that's the New York Yankees. I've been avoiding them the last 2 weeks, I'd say, and thank God I have, because looking at their roster from top to bottom, they have so much promise, and their pitching staff should be lights out, but they just can't get it done. I mean, they're right at 500 at 17 and 15, pretty much an even run differential, 4 and 6 in their last 10. I mean, just not doing it overall, and it's just a team that I've been avoiding.
Trey, don't sound so sad. That's something to celebrate, okay? It's something to celebrate. The Yankees losing is a great thing.
That is very true.
Trey, before you keep going here, that actually kind of leads into something that I did want to kind of mention, is how bad the Yankees are. All right, number one.
Yeah.
If you look right now, all right, at the AL East standings, you might see something that you never thought was possible in anybody's lifetime. You have the Rays in first, the Orioles in second, the Blue Jays in third, and rounding out the bottom at 4 and 5, respectively, is the Red Sox and the Yankees.
Yeah,
it's literally flipped upside down.
What a mix-up from the tradition, right?
Yeah. So I'm glad you brought up the Yankees, because I found that today and I was like, wow, this is literally almost like I feel like I had to turn my head upside down to actually make it right. But
and every year you think, like, looking at their roster, looking at their signings and the pitchers they get and all these off-season moves, they have so much promise, and year after year they barely live up to anything. I mean, they'll make the playoffs and lose first round or lose the wild card matchup. It's just disappointing year after year for them. And yeah, you're right. I'm not shedding a tear for them.
no,
So.
Here you go. Yankees won the World Series last time, 2009.
Wow.
2009.
Let's keep it that way.
All right. So, that's very interesting. I didn't expect it to be that steep of a, in terms of time, but yeah, 2009. Pretty wild. Trent, go ahead, Trey.
No, I was going to say, the one other thing that I wanted to point out is I think the Rangers are going to come back down to earth. Started the season extremely hot. Still playing pretty decent, but I think the team to look at that division, obviously the Astros from the returning champs, but the Los Angeles Angels are finally picking it up.
Yeah.
They might be a team that takes advantage of Mike Trout finally. I mean, the back end of his career, but dear God, at least you're finally doing something.
Right.
I think Ohtani as well. I think those two players together really coming together, and look out for the Angels.
It actually might help keep Ohtani there.
Yeah, very true.
If they can actually have a little bit of success. Trent, any surprises?
Yeah, I mean, I would say I kind of look at my surprise right now would be the fact that this year lacks an auto fade pitcher at this point in the season.
Yeah. Well, that auto fade pitcher is actually not in the majors right now.
Yeah, Urena.
No, Bumgarner.
Well, Bumgarner was starting to be that guy. You're right.
And now he's not even there.
Last year it was Corbin for the Nationals, and his record doesn't show to be too good. His ERA's around 5,
Right.
but his outings aren't bad.
Yeah.
So you can't just, say, okay, where's this pitcher? Oh, I see him in the lineup. He's starting. Automatically bet against him because that's not doing well for you this year. So I would say that's kind of my surprise. I would probably say something that I'm staying away from right now because it's my typical. I always stay away from the Phillies. I'm with Trey on the Yankees, and you guys talking about how they're kind of a letdown, but I'm not too disappointed in that. But I would say a team to watch out for right now because the way they started versus the way they're playing is completely polar opposite. And that's actually the Boston Red Sox.
Yeah,
they're on a 6-game win streak. They're third in the MLB in runs scored, top of the league in hits. And you saw it today. I mean, they can pour the runs on.
Yeah.
And I think they poured 6 real early on. I think by the second inning they had 6 on Toronto today. So I always worry because here's the thing is we knew they were going to be able to hit. It was their pitching that was questionable. So in terms of taking them in any sort of spread or run line or money line, I fear that. So Red Sox are they're getting hot, but I still have trust issues with them.
Yeah, I think tomorrow they have an interesting matchup too because I believe Chris Sale is pitching.
Yes.
Yeah, Chris Sale versus Wheeler. So the Phillies, they play at 7:05 tomorrow.
Yep. So that's a definite will not touch it. Will not touch it.
I'm
the
staying
darn
away from that, man.
Phillies.
Yeah.
Trent, I'm going to have to disagree with one thing you said. I think every single pitcher on the A's is an auto fade.
Okay. I got you.
I'm looking at some of their stats, and holy crap. Ken Waldichuk has given up 10 home runs in 6 games with an ERA of 7.26. Fujinama has an ERA of 12.32 in 7 games started.
Yeah,
it's bad.
Well, I guess when I speak to that auto fade, that was where at some points you were able to get some of these pitchers that were considered to be auto fades for still pretty decent odds. But right now, if you try to find a money line or run line versus the A's, it's not the best odds. But I agree with you on that. It's a good thing to keep an eye on for team totals when playing a team like the A's for the opposing team.
Is it time to hit the panic button if you're the Padres? You're 17 and 15. You're in third in your division right now.
No, I say not yet. I mean, baseball season, the truths will average out. So, I mean, now they might not.
Do you think there is a team right now that should be hitting the panic button?
Yankees.
Yankees,
yeah. I mean, that's fair enough. I mean, I'm trying to look at. I mean, I'm super surprised. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't be, but I'm super surprised that the White Sox are so terrible.
Yeah.
Just because I feel like they have a lot of good bats, and I also feel like their pitching's decent. And I mean, this is the first year without La Russa, right, behind the helm.
I believe so.
Yeah, so, he was busy taking naps during the 7th inning stretch.
Well, but maybe he's taking naps because he's up all the time preparing to get his team to win. Because
come on, he's falling asleep at red lights. You know how that was, right?
No,
Jeez.
I don't know. I do think that I don't know. It was a hard series to kind of judge them on, but the Pittsburgh Pirates, kind of hit a little roadblock. Obviously against the team that's best in baseball right now, that being the Tampa Bay Rays. But I really didn't expect them to, I don't know, kind of get handled for the most part. Overall, I thought they'd at least give a little bit of a fight. I mean, they did today. It was 3-2, but at the same time,
they're not alone there. I mean, the Rays are almost a record-setting 26-6 right now.
Yeah,
like holy cow,
Tyler,
that's a lot.
Tyler, you bringing up the Pirates actually led me to a team that I think should be pounding the panic button.
Mm-hmm.
That's the St. Louis Cardinals.
Yes,
that's a good point.
Call.
Yeah, that roster is also way too talented with Arenado, Goldschmidt.
Yeah.
Lots of good young players as well. And they're, what, 10
and 22.
10 and 22. Yeah. That's just not
They're actually
good. I mean,
fourth worst in baseball right now.
and their pitching staff doesn't do them any favors, but still, with that, you got to be doing something with the talent they do have.
Yeah.
Yeah. They blew one late last night, top of the ninth.
Yep.
I was on that Angels money line because you were getting Ohtani for minus 134 against the Cardinals. So I was like, oh my goodness. And I saw down one, way too late, went to bed, woke up, saw a little extra change in that bankroll. All right. It's always a good wake up.
Yeah, I think, I don't know, and I actually struggle sometimes because for some reason I feel like I float towards the Cardinals games to look at them for like a first 5 plus a half a run type of deal. And there's been so many times where I have it up, I have it typed in the bet slip, and then I just cancel it. And I don't know why. I mean, it's, you look at your research, and I go off of pitching. You know, and I look at some of the pitchers, and you're right. I mean, they should be decent.
Only guy I trust in that starting rotation is Montgomery.
Yes, you're exactly right. Yep.
Yeah.
I think
some of the other guys that used to be guys that were pretty reliable, they're not reliable at this point in the year.
Flaherty.
No, but
Flaherty.
You said Montgomery. Montgomery's
who
2 and
pitched
4
last night?
Nicholas.
Yeah.
Nicholas.
What's that, Tyler?
So you said about Montgomery, and I agree, but he's also 2 and 4.
Yeah, record-wise, but that's a reflection of the team. It's just some of those starting pitchers for those bad teams, you got to understand is they do their job. It's just, they give up 1 run, 2 runs.
Yeah.
They can still get a loss because they get absolutely 0 run support. Yeah. So if he's anywhere else right now, I would say he's above 500 pitching-wise.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Except the A's, soon to be Las Vegas A's. So
you think are they going to keep the A's name?
Yeah.
No, they'll rebrand. If they're smart, they'd rebrand.
Yeah, I don't know.
Why? Raiders didn't rebrand.
Yeah, but that's different. That's a multi-billion-dollar franchise.
I mean, what do you have to... Now what? You got to change... Maybe bronze is going to be your color? You already got gold with the Vegas Golden Knights. You already got the Raiders.
I say they change it to black and... I say do the same as the Raiders.
Don't do that.
I don't think the Raiders would let them.
Maybe it'd be
after
like
all the
green,
controversy
maybe
that they had.
Maybe it'd be like black and green or something.
I mean, don't you have to go kind of some sort of metal? You got silver and black. You got black and gold. Black and bronze.
I know. I kind of like for some reason, this is super random, but I would kind of like black and purple. But that's Colorado, I guess.
What else do they have? They have the WNBA team, the Las Vegas Aces. What's their colors?
I don't know. We should be more well-rounded. I have no clue.
I bet you the A's will be black and green.
You think so? Okay.
All right.
I can see that. Look like the Dallas Stars.
Yes. So can I share what I'm sticking with tailing in baseball?
Yeah, for sure. Tell us what you got.
So I am continuing on with the first five total runs. And I would say in particular, if you're looking at our daily recipe, I really like the unders in those. Mm-hmm. When you sit there and look at it, I kind of went over this before, I believe, but when you sit there and look at an overall game total at about a 7.5 or 8, and you can still get the first 5 at 4.5 under, take it.
Yeah.
Especially because you're getting, pretty good odds in the minus 140s, maybe at most minus 150s. But I mean, and once again, it's going back to that theory on starting pitchers are more reliable than middle relievers and the bullpen in general.
Yeah. With
the way things are right now.
Yep.
I know it's still early, but right now the trend for me that I'm really, I feel like hitting my stride with in baseball is these unders in the first 5 innings. So I'm continuing to go to the well on that, and I'll ride it until it starts to fade away from me. But I'm sticking with it.
Yeah, that's
as long as the teat's given, right?
Oh, well, now we're
there he is
explicit
again.
Yep.
Darn it. Sorry. Parental advisory, sexual content. Thanks, Trey.
Yeah, no, I mean, you definitely have been hitting those first five, in terms of under runs, total runs. And I also like to take a peek at those, and there's actually sometimes I have trouble. I look at some pictures, I'm like, wow, this is going to be a blowout, and I'm like, do I take over 4.5 here? And I am like, it's kind of like the first five minus a half, and it's like you just don't do it. Like you just don't do it.
I'm with you on that. I really, really struggle with taking over in the first five because how stressful are full game overs? When you have 9 innings to hit that over.
Yes.
I baseball for me, I'm more of an unders guy, hands down.
Yeah, I've been definitely still hitting the first five a lot in terms of plus a half a run and things of that sort. I did throw a new bet out there for you guys the other night, that actually hit.
Whoa, yeah, that made you sweaty. Whew.
Yeah,
that
I
was
don't know.
a little nerve-wracking.
It's kind of one of those things when you think about, how long do pitchers pitch, and I would say generally speaking, you're definitely probably going to get five innings out of them. Maybe 6 out of certain pitchers, maybe a little bit less than 5 if you're getting shellacked, if you will.
Whoa, pulled a shellac out of the old bag there.
Cream rising to the crop top, shellacked.
But
yeah, so we went with the pitcher with the under outs recorded. All right, and it was Dylan Cease that I hit with under 17.5. And again, you look at his statistics, you look at how many innings he pitches, and I don't know, and it kind of goes back to I've been a White Sox pitcher guy, like in terms of betting things, for almost, I guess this might even be year 3, or however long we've been betting baseball now. Pretty consistently, regardless if it's for them or against them. I feel like I have a pretty good beat on their pitchers. But yeah, it was an under outs recorded the other night was a new unique one that I don't know. I'm gonna start taking kind of peeks at those as well, but don't want to get too happy because So we'll see. Any bets you let? Well, Trey, you're a pretty straightforward guy.
Trey's always full game. Overs, unders.
I'm staying true to it. Yep, full game over unders for me is what I've been doing this year. Been hot, been cold. But yeah, for me, the team that I think is pretty consistently hitting the overs is still, I think I mentioned it last week, with the Red Sox. Just the stadiums, their own stadium they play in, the other stadiums they play in, how well all the teams in their division are playing. Mm-hmm. I think it's tough not to bet their overs. I mean, I think they won their last 6, and I think 5 of the last 6 have hit over. So, yeah, they're pretty consistent in that term. But
you said Red Sox.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just their over record is 23-10. They're 69.7% over percentage, plus 2.3 in terms of runs over.
Yeah,
so they're actually the number 1 team in overs.
Yeah. Oh, so easily I could. Yeah. I don't know how.
Next team is the Texas team you talked about.
Yeah. Which they started out great, but I think they're starting to, like I said, come down to earth a little bit. But
yeah. Any guesses on the third team?
Yeah.
Orioles.
Nope.
Oh wow. It'll be the Rays.
Nope.
Oh wow.
The Oakland A's.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now keep in mind, this isn't just the A's with the over. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like this is their game.
Matchups.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, the A's. So it honestly could be the fact that teams are just crushing the A's.
Which it is. Yes.
Which is why it puts them way up there. But
I mean, guys, they literally don't have a visiting team's announcer's booth because a possum lives there. Like, are you kidding me?
That's
like, and then people want to complain. Why are you guys leaving the city?
Yeah.
Cut them a break.
Yeah.
Get them out of there. And once again, I'm an Oakland Raiders fan. I was an Oakland Raiders fan. Oakland's obviously a city in some serious trouble. I mean, jeez.
Let alone the fact that it's like literally the worst animal possible living there.
Yeah, I mean,
So
No.
ugly.
Depends
I
depends
hate
on how you
possums.
look at them.
I hate possums. I look at them and they're
Eh.
always still ugly. That's how I
Well,
look
okay,
at them.
I'm sorry. Yes, ugly, but they do.
Don't
You're
care.
bringing the. I know. I'm sorry. This
care.
is sports talk, not science talk. I
I don't care.
apologize.
Yep.
I'll pause myself.
Yep. Ugly possum. Period.
Yeah.
All
They
right.
eat ticks, which is good. Okay.
Right.
Anyway.
Where do you guys want to jump to next?
Ticks.
You want to touch
Yes.
into NHL playoffs? Do we want to talk about NFL draft stuff? Where we want to go next?
Let's go draft. Let's go to the league that owns a day or 3 of the week.
Yep.
Yeah. Let's do it.
So what we'll do here, just kind of your analysis. I'd say like what teams you think won the draft, what teams you think struggled in the draft. Any surprises that kind of stuck out to you.
Well, let me start out by the biggest loser, hands down, Green Bay. I'm just kidding. Sorry, I just want to.
Wow.
I like to get Trey fired.
Wow.
Trey gets fired up during NFL
Wow.
sessions here.
Yeah, I do.
I'm
get fired
kidding.
up because...
I'm kidding. Look, now he's going to trash the Raiders the rest of the show.
No, I'm not.
That was a joke. I will.
Better been.
Can we just start with our reflection on our own teams? Since it's probably what we followed the most.
Yeah, I don't have much to say because I was kind of disappointed. But go ahead.
I would just say I was not surprised by their first pick with Tyree Wilson out of Texas Tech.
Yeah.
There's a lot of potential there, but deep down to me, it felt like Cleveland Farrell 2.0. Jalen Carter is available. I get it. I think here's where Vegas is really struggling with what they've seen with their past couple draft classes is it's tough to put guys that are in their early 20s in a city like Las Vegas with millions of dollars in their pocket and all their friends wanting to be there,
Like Henry Ruggs.
And yeah, and it's like, so I'm guessing like Ruggs, I think he said.
Yeah.
But not even just Ruggs, but all the other guys that have, posted videos of doing dumb things. And obviously with the Ruggs thing, that was a terrible, terrible situation.
Right.
But, like, I think maybe that's why they didn't go that route with Jalen Carter.
Yeah.
But I'll take it. I mean, if he's got some uncoachable traits with his length and motor, but I do think what really let the Raiders grade out at maybe in the B's or upper, like maybe a B plus,
yeah,
is the fact that they got Meyer out of Notre Dame, the tight end. I mean, to get him in the second round like that in my opinion was an absolute steal.
Well, and even look at if you look at CBS too, that is not even considered their best pick.
Yeah,
which is interesting. But it was the cornerback, Jacorian Bennett.
Yeah,
so,
I mean we needed corner. That's for sure. But I think it fits a McDaniels. You need an all around tight end. Now I'm not going to ever say that Darren Waller. I love Darren Waller, still do. But this guy coming in is a tight end in the sense that he'll block and he can catch, and he can do those things that you look for. Is line up by yourself on an island, as well as outrun linebackers that are covering you in man coverage. So I'm happy with the Raiders. Not surprised by the first pick.
Yeah, Trey, why don't you touch on your Niners there?
Well, I'm not a Niners fan.
All right, sorry.
Yeah,
sorry, I was thinking about my Niners. Go touch on your.
Trey, he took a jab right there.
Shut up! You're just trying to.
To be honest, I have mixed feelings about the Packers draft. First pick was a little confusing. It wasn't kind of came out of the blue for me. I wasn't expecting Van Ness as an edge rusher.
Yeah.
To be our first overall pick, but what I was happy with was the 2 tight end selections that we did take.
Yeah.
I know. I said I wanted Kincaid, maybe Michael Meyer. Congrats, Trent, because I was pretty jealous when you guys selected him. But Luke Musgrave and Tucker Kraft, both extremely talented, athletic tight ends that I'm glad that we were able to get to, because I was reading that the Packers ran the 3rd most plays out of the 12 formation, which was the most successful passing formation of any formation last year. So
it's not a formation. That's a personnel package, Trey. So Sorry.
Well, like I
Sorry.
said, formation personnel package. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
no, the other pick that I thought I just didn't understand was Sean Clifford from Penn State.
Yeah.
Yes.
I believe Max Dugan was still on the board, right? Dugan
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
TCU.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
I would have thought would be a great pick.
Yeah.
Truthfully didn't think Clifford would have been drafted, let alone in the 5th round. So, like I said, I'm a Penn Stater, so I respect Sean Clifford, but not happy to have taken him in the 5th round.
So Trey, could I have you, since you are once again an owner?
Yeah, right, correct.
So if you had up on the board, you personally, you had Sean Clifford and Stetson Bennett, who would you take between those two? Unbiased PSU aside.
Wow.
Sean Clifford or Stetson Bennett? You're actually thinking about that?
Yeah, I'm interested to hear your answer, Tom. I'm not sure
totally
where you guys
Stetson Bennett.
Okay. I am too. Yeah.
I think in terms of preparation, Kirby Smart's going to have his guys better ready to play than Franklin would. I just think that Clifford's also an undersized mini quarterback. I mean, they've had the same kind of quarterback for like 8 years now and aren't doing anything with him.
Okay,
maybe you should have kept Levis.
Okay. I'm not thinking it in terms of their mental capability. I'm thinking about their ceiling. I think Sean Clifford has a much higher ceiling as an NFL quarterback than Stetson Bennett does.
Why?
His size, his room for growth. I think Stetson Bennett he was at his peak at Georgia. I really do.
Okay.
He's also mature. You can't coach maturity.
They are both
Tyler,
like 28.
He's mature. Yeah, I was gonna say they're both like probably older than half the players on the teams they're joining.
I don't know. I see Clifford and I just think he's whiny. I don't know. Stetson Bennett. I just think that Stetson Bennett's a little stuck up. That's what I think about him.
Oh yeah, I would get Bennett as the whiny one. I don't know. I think Bennett reminds me so much of Brock Purdy in terms of throwing comparison, in terms of throwing motion. But word is McVay was extremely high on Stetson Bennett.
Dude, that was a steal for them to get him when they did like that. I thought that was a decent pick for them.
Interesting. All right, Trey. Anything else besides your interesting Sean Clifford pick there in Cheesehead Lane?
Let's go Jordan Love and go Pack Go.
Oh boy,
I think
banking on Jordan Love. Woo.
Let's see what happens
with a big extension too. What the heck?
It wasn't that big. It was 1 year.
30-some million, man.
I listened to some analysis of that with McAfee, and they talked about it actually protects the Packers and Jordan Love. That's why he signed it.
Trey, very good job at calculating that deal for your team.
Well, yeah, that's why we did it. So
when the heck do you have the time to do that between golfing and like North Carolina? Saving lives every day. How the hell did you do that?
Yeah, you just gotta maximize every hour of every day, Trent. So
it's good. Math is the answer.
So I'll touch on my team real quick. Niners draft, meh. I'm horrified that we took a kicker second pick.
Moody.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, I guess I get it. You know, they are saying, and again, who's they? I don't know. You know, but they are comparing him to what's his face out of the Ravens. So could he be that? I don't know. That'd be awesome.
Wow.
In terms of longevity of things too, but
so that kicker from Florida State, he was the next
like I said, I'm not thrilled with it. I think I love the Jair Brown pick, the Penn State safety, because I don't know. I'm actually disappointed we didn't take more secondary guys. I think if you look at San Fran actually drafting two different tight ends, a couple picks apart, I mean, I think that, you know, maybe they are preparing here for George Kittle to kind of get towards the end of his career. You know, I'm not saying that George Kittle is, but, you know, he has had several injuries now the last couple of seasons. You're not going to draft somebody like George Kittle. I mean, he's kind of a once-in-a-lifetime player. But I think getting two of them is kind of saying, like, hey, let's just prepare, you know, just in case something happens with Kittle here, because I mean, let's be honest, he has been fragile. You know, he misses a couple games each season. But my favorite pick was the defensive end from Georgia, Robert Beal Jr. He's a defensive end. They picked him at 173. He is, you ready for this? 6'4", 247, and runs a 4.48 40.
Oh, baby.
He's a defensive end. So now I'm talking, you're putting Bosa out there. You put this guy on the other side, and then you got Hargrave in the middle, all right, on top of Armstead in the middle. I mean, that defensive line, I don't know. I can't help but I love their defensive line. I love watching it. They also took 2 linebackers too, which, again, didn't surprise me. I mean, it was very defensive heavy, besides the tight ends. We did a wide receiver, I think. But, yeah, it was an interesting draft. I'm not happy, Then again, it's like, hey, who do you really need? I feel like they're a pretty complete team.
That's why they drafted the punter.
You mean the kicker. Filling some gaps here and there.
Yeah, oh, sorry, that's right. Kicker, sorry.
But I don't know. Overall, if I can kind of switch gears a little bit away from our teams, I mean, one thing that surprised me was how many picks came from the University of Iowa. They actually had 7 guys drafted.
Wow.
How many of those guys were defense?
It was 1,
Can you
2,
tell me that?
3, 4, 5.
5 of the 7.
5 out of 7. Which
sense.
does that really surprise you though? Because let's be honest, they scored maybe 6 points a game this year.
Their offensive guy that got drafted was a tight end too.
Well, and yeah, and what's funny is that
it had to be an
thing.
offensive lineman too.
Yeah,
I bet.
No, it was a fullback.
A fullback, even better. That is good old Iowa football right there.
But no, I think that was one surprise for me, was that they actually had 7 guys drafted. And I'll be honest with you, I know a lot of people are talking about the Eagles. Some people talk about the Steelers having good drafts. I personally think that the Detroit Lions had one of the best drafts this season. And I go to Jack Campbell from Iowa at linebacker. I think it's a beast. I think the Sam Laporta guy, the tight end that they got, if you watched his highlights, and it's hard not to say, oh, he's like George Kittle. The way he ran, like kind of almost like continuing to fall forward for like 25 yards after his catch kind of thing, reminded me so much of George Kittle. But yeah, the Lions. And then to take the Alabama running back who's being compared to Christian McCaffrey in terms of his abilities to be out, in the slot, be in the backfield, just kind of an all-around athlete. And honestly, I think one of their best picks was Hendon Hooker. Let him heal, let him sit another year or two behind Goff, and let him have the reins, man. So I think my winner with the draft was the Detroit Lions. MCDC, man.
I think Dan Campbell has a lot more to prove than we think, considering now you just lost a Hall of Fame quarterback from your division who has pretty much owned the division for his entire tenure.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of those teams up there are going to feel pressured that, hey, we've got to take this.
Yeah.
We got to take this division, and I was interested with the Lions draft. I would say I was just very intrigued. I'm not gonna doubt Dan Campbell. I believe in what he's got going up there, and I think it shows you the fact that he was able to keep those coordinators as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's saying something.
It is. It's a cultural thing, and I think that he was a fantastic hire for them to at least not even if he's there long term, but at least to get the Detroit Lions somewhat back to having some respect for their franchise.
Yeah.
So,
who's your winner of the draft?
I mean, I hate to sound typical as all the experts or whatnot, but I'm going to say present time, I think the Eagles filled the void that they needed. Because they did lose Hargrave.
Yeah.
Fletcher Cox is getting older, and you have some serious to get guys that are familiar with playing with alongside each other.
People don't realize how big that is.
Oh my gosh! I mean, you from coaching and me from coaching. When you see a group of guys on the defensive front or offensive front that can just look at each other and know what they're going to do, right? And communicate and compete with each other and get more jacked up for the other's success than themselves.
Oh, totally.
That's huge for them. And I think the Eagles did well. But I will say, from a future perspective, I think the Cardinals did the best job of getting draft capital.
Yeah.
But I think I am super interested to see what the heck are they going to do with it after this year, because I would imagine Kyler Murray doesn't play a snap of football this year if they're serious about tanking.
No, and if you tank, then are you going to take Caleb Williams next year?
Yeah, I think, and that's why I'm interested to see, because now the guy that you got rid of, Kingsbury, is the quarterback or a quarterback coach for USC.
Right.
So but then also you just paid Kyler Murray a ton of money.
Yep, a lot of
and
money.
Who right now really wants Kyler Murray?
Someone will take him.
We can say so, but gosh, I hope it's not Vegas.
It'll be the Saints.
I could see that happening.
The Saints got Derek Carr, man. Come on now.
Who's
some respect?
Who's your winner, Trey?
I think, like Ty, you mentioned it. I think the consensus winner was the Eagles amongst most people.
That was me. Sorry.
No, but I'm saying those deals they got with Nolan Smith, Jalen Carter, where they got him, and then even grabbing Keely Ringo, the corner out of Georgia, not to mention the DeAndre Swift.
DeAndre Swift, I was gonna say,
that's Georgia, and he's from Philly too.
Also fragile though.
Yeah. But no, I say that the non-glaringly obvious team that I think won the draft was the Tennessee Titans.
Ooh.
I think their first pick, the tackle or offensive lineman out of Northwestern, Skoronski.
Yeah.
Skoronski, yeah. He's the best offensive lineman, I think, in the draft.
Yeah.
And then you got your new quarterback, Will Levis, in the second round.
Do you think he
change
starts?
Your pace back. Not right away.
No.
But then you got your change of pace back to complement Derrick Henry Spears out of Tulane, who can run routes, pass catcher,
who has no ACLs.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm indifferent on the Titans.
But then they got a reliable tight end. It's a big body, can catch the ball.
Yeah.
He's pretty fast, but
I would have liked to see them do one additional thing. I would have liked to see them trade up late in the first, not to take the quarterback Levis, but I would have liked to see them trade up and take one of those top tier receivers.
Yeah, I mean they have. Who
the heck are they? Who the heck are the receivers down there?
They got a guy in last year's draft.
What the heck was?
I know, but he turned out to be terrible.
Trent, was it Trent something?
Was it London?
No,
that was London's with the Falcons. Burks. Burks.
Yeah, Treylon Burks.
Trey Burks. Yeah, but I just think, I don't know. I mean, he was. I mean, anyway, I guess the tough thing is we're always going to say he's no AJ Brown or whatnot, which is tough to say.
That still blows my mind. I feel like they lost so much with that trade.
Yeah, I don't really understand what's happening and how they're able to get all those guys, but
no clue.
Yeah, it'll be interesting for the Niners-Eagles showdown in the NFC Championship again.
Just hope we have enough quarterbacks.
Easy.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be so sure about that.
I mean, if you're actually thinking that Jordan Love and the Packers are going to be there, you're kidding yourself.
Oof.
So here's a question then. Who was the loser? Who was the loser of the draft?
I said the New Orleans Saints.
Yeah?
Look at their draft.
Yeah.
Look at the people. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't know many of these players out of college. They could be really good players in college, but I just don't think that, and no one stands out as great pick.
Right.
I mean, defensive end, you can get a dime a dozen.
Right.
Running backs, I mean, sometimes they pan out, sometimes they don't, but who knows?
Yeah.
Then you got a quarterback from Fresno State. I just don't. I guess that's Derek Carr.
Yeah.
That's ironic, but I don't know. I just don't think I wasn't too impressed.
Yeah, there's a couple teams I'm just not impressed with. I mean, I don't think the Chiefs had a good draft. I think the Dolphins was just kind of mediocre. I don't think the Vikings helped themselves at all.
No.
I don't know. I also even question the Patriots, man. Like, I don't
Yeah, I
think
was
the
gonna say the
Patriots.
Patriots too. Yeah.
I mean, they had some interesting picks. I mean, a lot of small town college or small colleges, drafted, which I just feel like that's Bill
Hey,
Belichick's thing. Which
they did draft a Cedar Crest grad.
did they? That's
Yeah,
cool.
the kicker.
That's cool.
So that's kind of neat. I
there
would.
was. Go ahead.
I was going to say biggest loser to me is I think they were in a tough spot going into it, kind of like the Saints were. But I have the Broncos as a
Yeah,
loser.
I agree with that.
And granted, they're banking on Sean Payton being able to be the guy to get Russ back cooking. But I don't know, man. I think it's done. I think it's be very interesting to see if he turns that around in 1 year after going 5-12.
We'll see if he can. Because let's think about that. I mean, Sean Payton had Drew Brees for how many years, right? Like, that was his guy.
Yeah.
Drew Brees and Russell Wilson are not the same quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not
height
even
wise.
Yeah, that's a good point. But I'm saying they're not even close. Because Russell Wilson, anytime he had success throwing the ball, it was because he was scrambling out of the pocket and just throwing the ball in the air. And he had Tyler Lockett to run underneath it and catch it. It's like I don't know. I don't know how much success they'll have, but I agree the Broncos didn't have a good draft.
Can I backtrack real quick about a winner that I think was overlooked?
No, sorry, no, you can't.
I won't. I'm not going to take time on it, but the Seattle Seahawks, tremendous draft.
Think so.
Yeah, I agree.
As much as I hate to admit it,
Yeah,
tremendous draft.
I still hate them.
Dude, for them to take get Witherspoon, and then get
What's that receiver they got?
Smith. Smith and Jigba. That's huge.
Yeah.
So now you got Granted, still the question is the quarterback the guy there? I mean, is Gino really gonna put 2 good years together? Who knows? But I mean, you got the guy weapons.
Right.
And you just got another stud quarterback. They had a young quarterback last year who was a rookie. So they're building something good. And
they also took a running back, too, in round 2.
Yeah, and they even said he's going to compete with the kid out of Michigan State for carries in the starting spot.
Kenneth Walker.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I mention this, too? And I was listening to somebody, I think it might have been McAfee's show. They were talking about the Colts, right? And just the discussion is, what are the Colts going to be like this year? Are they going to be successful? Are they not going to be successful? And then I almost didn't even put 2 and 2 together that they got Anthony Richardson. Initially, I was like, man, I think that's a terrible pick. And then I forgot, who the coach is there now and who was working with Jalen Hurts for how many years now. And, I mean, athletically, Anthony Richardson's a dude.
Yeah.
If it he's lacking the same thing that Trey Lance is
experience
experience in terms of games played at the college level. He doesn't have a ton of games played. But let's just say the Colts suck this year, right? You realize who they could go down and get in the first round? Marvin Harrison Jr. Next year. Wouldn't that be some shit?
Would be.
It would be just like Joey Porter Jr. kind of thing, which pissed me off.
Exactly.
But that would almost be too good to be true kind of thing, But I don't know. I thought that was interesting that, maybe they even make some trades. I don't know. Jim Irsay's not a guy that makes a ton of moves, but it is what it is. But
he's kind of interesting character. Try to send out that draft baiting tweet of, do we take another quarterback? Like, come on.
Yeah, that was stupid.
First of all, the first quarterback they took was stupid.
Yeah, but that's what I just mentioned, though. It's the coach.
It's
it fits his style of play calling.
Risk reward. Who knows?
So I don't know.
Kid could be a stud. I mean, he's a freak athlete.
Yeah.
but
And he
is
can
he
get out of the
is he
pocket
an
too, which
NFL quarterback?
Jalen Hurts gets out of the pocket too. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's Jalen Hurts because I think Jalen Hurts' X factor is his leadership. His leadership, and he knows how to win games. He wins everywhere he goes.
And just how hard he works at everything.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and I'm not saying this kid doesn't, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But
Yeah.
anything else here NFL wise, guys?
I'm good.
Let's
I
let's transfer.
Quick hockey.
Yeah, a little bit of hockey here. Currently, Seattle Kraken and Stars are playing. Dallas is up 3-1. Kind of disappointing for me a little bit because I did bet some on the Kraken tonight, but we shall see. But yeah, there's some interesting stuff. We had a great conversation last week with Corey Lammer on our podcast. Appreciate everybody tuning in, listening, and giving some feedback on some things. So that was pretty awesome to see. But yeah, looking at some of the teams since we had that conversation that aren't in the playoffs anymore,
Well,
and I mean the glaring one is the Bruins.
I was going to say let's address the elephant in the room with the Boston Bruins there.
Or bear in the room.
There you go.
But yeah, the Boston Bruins are out. Most wins ever. Gone in the first round after, being up 3-1 in the series. Pretty glaring to say, in terms of didn't see that one happening, to be honest with you. I mean, they lost, I believe, almost 13 games total in the regular season, and to lose 4 in the playoffs is pretty glaring.
So, and that's the thing is like, and Corey did preface his pick in the East as to the normal advice is to avoid the President's Cup winner.
I was going to ask when was the last time that curse was broken?
I'll look it up right now.
I think last year weren't the Avalanche the top team overall?
Right.
I think it was last year, but that was
wrong. 2012, 2013, the Blackhawks.
Wow. Who won the President's Cup last year?
I have no clue.
Was it the Maple Leafs?
That would surprise me.
I think it was the Maple Leafs last year.
Trophy winner. Yeah, I don't know. It's definitely been interesting because 2022 was the Florida Panthers.
Wow, and they're looking pretty tough right now.
Dude, as a low seed, and that's kind of what I want to talk about is these low seeds. I mean, the Panthers are now up 2-0 because they won tonight over the Maple Leafs.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, again, people are looking at this and the Maple Leafs. Sure, they got out of round 1, which was seemed to be their thing that they really couldn't get over the hump with. And now here you are down 2-0 to the lower seed in your division or in your playoffs. Like, what's going on? It's like, didn't expect the Maple Leafs to be that that down in the second round. It's almost like they got surprised. Like, they weren't like, whoa, are we supposed to be here? Or maybe even the fact that maybe they were preparing for somebody other than the Panthers. Because
it's very true.
A lot of teams didn't see that one coming. I actually thought the Panthers were going to be a little bit tired in the sense of wasted all your energy kind of thing in that series, because that's a lot of intensity, man.
Yeah, so that's what I was going to ask is, do you think that the Panthers are a team of destiny, or do you think playing these back-to-back very, very tough rounds where if they pull out victories, and do you think that wears them down and they just don't have any left in the tank?
It's going to depend if they can take this series, let's say in a sweep or even 5 games, there's a good chance that Jersey and Carolina series goes a little further. So I think there's a little bit more of an even matchup with Carolina being banged up.
Yeah.
To where maybe the Panthers get a little fresh, but then again, it's also like there's always that like theory of, okay, like you don't want too much downtime because then you lose that momentum.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of a tough thing to. I didn't picture any of these teams coming out of the East.
Dude, if you look
I'm just
at
going
it,
to say that.
If you look at the teams that are left too, it's been quite some time since one of these teams won the cup, which is really cool. When you really look at it. I mean, you got 2 teams who, you got the Kraken and the Las Vegas Golden Knights, who were expansion teams just a couple years ago. They're making some runs here. You got the Dallas Stars. You have I mean, honestly, the only team that's kind of been there, recently is, I would say, the Oilers. And they're a team that I don't trust. I follow the Oilers. I like the Oilers, and they've been good for a while because they got some studs. I mean, dude, friggin' Draisaitl again. I know we mentioned him last week.
4 goals.
Dude, he's a beast.
4.
He's a beast. Like, I don't know. I don't, and I almost feel like he's doing it all. You know what I mean? McDavid's obviously getting a ton of points with assists and stuff, but like, I don't know. I think it goes back to their goalie too, their goaltending. But yeah, they lost 6-4. Draisaitl literally had every single goal for the Oilers.
Yeah.
So
4 goals.
I don't know. The Devils are in it. I mean, the Devils, they look pretty terrible the other night against the Hurricanes.
I mean, let's put a couple numbers out there. Remember, Corey told us the Maple Leafs have not won a cup since '67.
Yeah.
Right? They made it out of their first ever playoff series since 2004.
Yeah.
And let's throw this out there because right now, I believe at the beginning of the second round, the betting favorite was the Edmonton Oilers.
Yeah, they were.
But here's the thing you got to be careful of. Last time a Canadian team won the Stanley Cup?
When?
93.
Wow. Who was it?
The Canadians.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
1993 was the last team a Canadian team won.
Yes.
Pretty cool stat.
But that's why when you sit there and look at it, like right now for me, I don't know. I mean, I think Florida's going to ride this momentum the whole way to at least the final.
Yeah.
And I think a team out of the West is going to. I honestly think I want to say the Vegas Golden Knights are going to win it all.
You think so?
That was what I was going to say.
I really do. I just think they've been in it. They've been in it last year. They missed it. When I say been in it, I mean like they've been in the mix, not necessarily in the Stanley Cup Finals, but with Colorado getting in there last year and taking it, I think it's going to go to Vegas this year.
Vegas I think Vegas may actually even sweep the Oilers.
Ooh, wow,
Oilers, and I hate to say that because I love watching the Oilers because I love watching Connor McDavid play, but I don't know. It's either going to be a 4-1 series or a 4-0 series.
Well, what's interesting about that whole matchup is, remember, the year that McDavid was number 1, and I might be wrong on this, but I'm pretty sure that Eichel was the number 2 pick.
Yeah.
Like, they were, like, the most talked about prospect. I would say, in terms of me following the NHL draft, which I'm not saying I really do, but that was the year, was who's going to get McDavid, who's going to get Eichel, and Eichel got his way, thankfully, the heck out of Buffalo all the way to Vegas, But
I think the other guy that they talk about, too, who's a very young, upcoming prospect, like in the same conversation as McDavid, is that Austin Matthews for the Maple Leafs, too. So, and that's why there's a lot of conversations, that happen. It's like, these young guys aren't winning the cup. Then again, you also kind of look back to, sure, Crosby won, how many cups? But then take for instance, Washington Capitals, right?
1.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So, there's your stud, with the Capitals too. It's like, I don't know. It's tough to say. It's like, is that, their kind of telling thing, or are they trying to should they get the guys, on teams that are going to win? Again, Ovechkin with 1. Ovechkin's a stud, but he just won a cup, a couple years ago. So it's like, do the Maple Leafs have to make some moves, or, what do they have to do? Very disappointing the fact that they're literally down 0-2. I really didn't see that one coming in the playoffs.
I will say that when it comes to like a major sport where you don't know what's going to happen, especially when it comes to the playoffs, I think hockey is the most unpredictable.
Oh yeah.
With the NFL, the NBA, you can kind of have a general idea of the final, at least 1 or 2 teams from each conference. You know what I mean?
Right.
But in the NHL, how many people probably bet the Bruins to have a cakewalk? You know what I mean? At least to the cup.
Yep.
And they get bounced in the first round. Like that's insane.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting. So Trent, you said the Golden Knights?
I think the Golden Knights take it all. I think it's going to be Golden Knights Panthers.
Okay.
And I think the Golden Knights will win it. I'm probably on like a 4-1 final in the series.
Okay.
If not, if at best it may be 4-2, but I think it'll be 4. I think it'll be quick.
Okay. I'm gonna say, well, Trey, you go ahead. Who you got?
Well, yeah, that's kind of exactly what I was going to say. But I mean, I think whoever wins the Oilers Knights series is going to win it all.
Okay.
Mm.
I'm gonna. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say I was going to say Knights and Panthers.
Okay. Yeah, I mean it's tough to bet against the Panthers. So I mean, and being up 2-0 right now, I feel pretty comfortable saying that they'll probably come out of the East. I'll take a little bit of a wild card, and I know Corey kind of touched on them too. And honestly, it's not the bet I made yesterday. I put a little sprinkle on the Kraken. I know they were pretty terrible odds, but I put a little sprinkle on them last night to win the cup. But at the same time, I don't know, man. I'm watching the Stars tonight. Even watching them the other night come back. You know, yeah, they lost in overtime, but they came back pretty tough. And I'm going to say Stars Panthers, and I actually think the Stars are going to win it this year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
So, like I said, that's coming from a guy that put a sprinkle on the Kraken last night. So,
there you go.
but yeah, I don't know. They're pretty tough right now. They got a lot of guys. I mean, it'll be interesting. But Trent, you had mentioned too some NBA stuff that you kind of wanted to touch on as well.
yeah, a little bit of NBA news with how about the Bucks firing their coach today to start off?
Yeah, Budenholzer's gone.
I mean, that to me that's shocking.
Yeah.
That was shocking. Yeah, so I mean, I'd start out with that news. Considering the guy had a .693 win percentage there.
Right.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Gets them to the playoffs consistently every single year.
Yep.
As the 1 seed this year, granted, very disappointed losing Miami.
Yeah.
But I just, it was surprising to me.
So you got Jimmy playoff, right?
Yeah, I was shocked by that. But
Or playoff Jimmy.
I know my initial pick was chalk. I thought it was going to be Nuggets, Bucks. Obviously, I'm off on the Bucks, but I really think I'm super confident with the Denver Nuggets getting into the finals this year out of the West.
Okay.
I really do. You watch these teams that are in the, right now you're watching Warriors, Lakers. Granted, you got the Steph Curry and LeBron factor, but
I think it's a sideshow, to be honest with you.
yeah, I just don't know if anybody has
games.
a true answer to Jokic.
Yeah.
I think he is a 5-man that can hit a 3, that can handle the ball.
Yep.
Essentially, he's a hybrid point guard / center.
Yeah.
And it is and
Like a freak athlete.
It's phenomenal to watch. And I would say I think it's going to be very tough for this team in the East to get there. But the ultimate, if you want to build an NBA storyline and a rivalry, you go Denver Nuggets, Philadelphia 76ers, the whole entire debate over Joel Embiid and Jokic. You make it happen. I mean, it would be phenomenal because you really got something similar there with Joel Embiid. I would not say Joel can handle the ball nearly as good as Jokic can.
No.
But he can pass. He can pass and he can hit the 3 that way. But that's all I want to kind of put out there. I would, if you're somebody who's willing to place a futures bet at this point in the playoffs, plus 320 to get the Nuggets to win it all.
Okay.
They are the second favorite to the Boston Celtics.
Are you saying? I was gonna say, are you saying you think it's gonna be Nuggets Sixers? Or you hope it's Nuggets Sixers?
I do hope.
Yeah.
I do hope that. I can't touch the Sixers Celtics. Like, I can't touch that series at all because it's a rivalry.
Yeah.
The winner of that series, in my opinion, absolutely gets to the finals.
It's kind of like Doc Rivers was with Boston for how long too?
Yeah, it led them to their last title, I believe, too.
Right.
So, yeah, I really do not want to see a Lakers Celtics final, but
man, I could see that.
I really think if the script is out there, they should be taking that script of get Jokic, get Embiid in the matchup, because in reality, I know Denver might not have the biggest NBA following,
Right?
but they're good. They're really good, and I think they're disrespected in the sense of everybody looks past them.
Yeah.
So
you think more so than the Suns, huh? With KD, Chris Paul, and all those guys.
Everybody, Chris Paul's out with an injury as usual.
Yeah, I know.
But 2-0 in the series. So I mean, yeah, I think the Suns are done.
Yeah, I can see that.
I think they're done.
Yeah. All right. Anything else NBA wise, guys?
Yeah. No. One thing I wanted to add: you guys were ranting and raving about what's his name being a 5-tool athlete, and I've never seen anything like it. But you guys have been watching for the past 20 seasons. You just don't want to admit it. That's all.
A 5-to-1 hybrid. Are you making a gesture to LeBron James?
Yeah, exactly what I'm doing.
I wouldn't call him a center by any
small
means.
forward.
Okay, but he covers centers. He plays the center position.
No.
Overrated.
Plays every single position on the court.
Overrated.
He's been doing it for 20 years at an elite level.
Overrated.
Moving on. All right. Yep. All right. Hey Trey, I would have loved to see your reaction to the NBA guy himself, Stephen A. Smith, saying if Steph Curry and the Warriors beat the Lakers this series and the Warriors win the finals, he is replacing LeBron James on his Mount Rushmore with Steph Curry.
He's not the only one to say that. I've heard a lot of people say that.
That would be interesting.
Well, a lot of people don't. Yeah, a lot of people don't realize that either. Is how many rings Steph actually has, and it's done quietly because
it's 4.
Right, and I'm saying it's because LeBron's been the golden boy since he came out of high school.
Ooh.
So it's all eyes have been on him all the time since he came out of high school. Steph Curry was an underrated
player ever.
He was an underrated guard at Davidson that blew up his senior year. Yeah, he was underrated. Blew up his senior year in March Madness,
his whole life.
And all of a sudden the dude can shoot lights out.
Yeah, ask Steph Curry about how he was raised and all the access he had to private trainers and skills. I don't want to sit here and say he blew up his senior year.
James, what, 6'10"?
Trey, he's 6'8". I was going to say the uncoachable traits. LeBron outnumbers Steph Curry. I mean, that's the difference. Look at Trey. I mean, Trey, you got LeBron James that was able to leave high school and go straight to the NBA. Whereas you have Steph Curry that has to go to Davidson to play. Like, you can say what you want training wise.
There's a lot of 6'8" players in the NBA, Trent, that aren't as good as LeBron James.
Okay.
You talking about Zion Williamson?
Okay.
Who should have been a tight end in NFL? I still stick by that dude. He misses calling. At least in the NFL, he has pads on, so he can't get hurt all the damn time.
I will say one, and I'm going to give a compliment to LeBron here, Trey, is one thing, and I think it's modern day sports, is one thing that he is doing that is allowing him to sit here and probably, I mean, he's already got the NBA scoring title, but at 38 years old compared to what, and I'm not saying prime player, but compared to what Michael was like at this point, that's a head and shoulders difference.
It's new age medicine.
Yeah. Oh no, and that's what I'm saying is that's where you had Michael Jordan with the stories.
I wish everybody could actually see Trey's face right now. He's so furious.
Oh wait, hold on. I'm complimenting LeBron.
I know, but he's mad at me for saying new age medicine. He just gave me a scowl.
But that's the thing I'm giving LeBron James credit for. He invests millions of dollars in his body each year. I mean, kind of like Tom Brady did. That's how Tom Brady's armed, in my opinion, still is not dead. But it's impressive to see him be able to put up a 20-20 at 38 years old in game. I think it was game 6 or 7 of the first round of the playoffs. So I'll give him credit in that area.
He's all right.
Okay. All right. Well, hey,
Yeah.
let's say. Oh, speaking of hey, are we gonna move on to our last and final little topic for the night?
So it is Kentucky Derby weekend. All right. What is it? Fastest 2 minutes in sports? Is that what they say?
Something like that. Yeah.
Something about fastest 2 minutes in sports, or is that was Chris Berman?
Yes.
But yeah,
this
so
applies.
we do have Kentucky Derby weekend here. Um, did a little bit of research, kind of looking at some of the trainers, some of the horses that are in there. Trent, I think you and I had talked, or you had mentioned earlier, 2 horses already scratched. Obviously,
Yes.
there's the glaring tragedy of 4 horses being dead at Churchill Downs week of Kentucky Derby. So 2 actually just kind of fell over, and 2 had actually had to be euthanized based on injuries and stuff that actually made it hard to breathe, hard to eat. I think only one of the horses of those 4 was going to possibly be racing.
Well, this really, Ty, you really dampened the mood here.
Yeah.
Happy
Derby.
Well,
Happy
dude,
Derby.
hey, listen,
Yeah,
I said, I've been
hey.
doing a lot of research here, so I'm trying
Hey
to.
kids, we got more glue on the way to school for you. Like, Jesus. Like,
But yeah,
all
so
right.
a couple of different things that I would like to touch on a little bit in terms of Kentucky Derby stuff. Like I said, I researched a little bit, looked into the trainers and everything else. Big storyline is the fact that it's really coming down to 2 of the trainers who really have a ton of horses in this race. I think, is that a saying? Have a horse in the race?
Yeah, it is.
So they actually
literally
do.
and
They
figuratively.
literally and figuratively, yes. But yeah, what we're looking at here is you're looking at Brad Cox and you're looking at Todd Pletcher. Are really the 2 trainers to kind of keep an eye on with this year's horse racing stuff. But in terms of horses, where we're looking at, where we're betting and everything, the most recent odds came out here, and I'm probably going to, for lack of a better term, butcher the names. Sorry.
Oh, let's hear it. Oh, man. Dead horses now butchered.
I know. Sorry.
Jeez.
Top horse you're looking at right now is Forte. Or is it pronounced Fort?
Yeah.
I don't know. Forte.
That's it. Forte.
Yeah. That is actually one of Pletcher's horses. You have Tappet Trice. Tappet Trice is the second one. That is also another Pletcher horse. And then you have the third one here in terms of odds. And again, these are odds as of May 4th. Third is, can't find him now. There we go. Angel of Empire. All right, and he is 8-1 right now. Angel of Empire is one of Brad Cox's. That's one of his horses. So that's kind of where we're looking at. I know, reading some articles and things like that. One of the, ready for this one? Another pun. Dark horses of the race is a horse called Hit Show. Hit Show is a 30-1 favorite, which I know sounds kind of crazy and a little bit outlandish when you look at, there are horses that are actually better. There's some 15-1. There's a 12-1, 20-1. But at the same time, when you really look at what Rich Strike was able to do last year, I believe at 90-1. Am I correct in saying that, if anybody remembers?
Oh yeah, I know, it's something crazy.
He was nowhere predicted to win, but yeah, Hit Show could be the dark horse of the race here to kind of make some noise. But yeah, so that's kind of what I'm looking at. So in terms of gambling with horses, it's something that sometimes you just kind of listen. You got to listen to the experts and kind of see where you're going. What I'll be doing this year in terms of my winner, I'm actually going to be picking Angel of Empire as my winner. There might be some bias there because that horse was actually bred in Pennsylvania. So that is going to be my pick for my winner this year. But what I will be doing is a trifecta box with Angel of Empire, Tappet Trice, and Forte. And then I'll also put a little bit of a sprinkle onto Hit Show, just in terms of horses possibly, maybe making some noise at some point. But some other horses just in terms of those 2 trainers as well to keep an eye on. Verifying is a Brad Cox horse. Jace's Road is a Brad Cox horse, and then King's Barnes is a Todd Pletcher horse. So those horses, are also a little bit lower in terms of odds and stuff, but those are just some horses to keep an eye on based on those two trainers that really kind of seem to be in the mix. And one last thing historically, and then Trey, I know you have some picks here, but Brad Cox did win the Kentucky Derby, which was, hang on, let me find it. I just had it. Yep. He won his first try. However, it was a victory because of a disqualification due to a drug test of Medina Spirit. So Mandaloun was declared the winner in 2021, which was a Brad Cox horse. So I know his big thing right now is I want to win it. I want to actually win it. So
did you say that was the lane shift?
It was it was Medina Spirit. It says it was disqualified for a drug test.
Oh,
so
wow.
he's had 5 Derby horses last 2 seasons here. So he was also the favorite Essential Quality in 2021, which actually ended up finishing 4th. So just something to keep an eye out. But in terms of money and earnings and stuff like that, right now Angel of Empire has actually won a lot of races as of recently, and has taken a lot of money in. So
Angel of Empire, I love that name.
That's where I'm going, dude. That's where I'm going.
Angel of Empire. All right, I like it.
So Tom, I'm going to do the same thing that you kind of did. I'm going to pick a winner and then do a trifecta box.
You got any dark horses too?
Yeah, yeah. My winner I'm going with though is it's after my favorite Scottish golf course, debuted in 2000. It's one of the newer Scottish courses. King's Barnes. That's what I'm going with winning.
It's a Todd Pletcher horse.
What makes it your favorite Scottish golf course?
It's a modern link style course. It looks like it's been there for a while, but it's right off the North Sea of Scotland. So,
and Trey, it's not a bad pick because currently King's Barnes is actually 12-1.
Yeah, so that was my just
great
simply because of the
views of great views of Nessie from hole 9 there, or what?
Well, that would be Loch Ness. That would be Lake Ness.
Oh, sorry.
Lake Ness or Loch Ness? Is the lake actually called Lake Ness?
The Loch means lake.
Huh. How about that? The Lake Ness monster. That's actually what it means.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. Sorry to get you off track there. Sorry.
Yeah, but
hold on, pause real quick because this is brand new information.
Yeah.
So anybody out there, if you want to learn some Scottish, loch means lake. So it's actually the lake. Then why the hell do we call it? Then why the hell do we call it the Loch Ness Monster? Why don't we just call it the Lake Ness Monster?
Because it's like Scottish, or I don't know.
We'd have to what it is.
It's like Old English or something, man.
Old English. That's totally different from Scottish.
Talking Scotch. Now we're talking Old English 40s. What the heck?
Yeah.
All right, let's go here.
My trifecta is going to be King's Barnes.
Wait. Trifecta or trifecta box, Trey? Big difference.
Box. Trifecta box.
Okay, so just to clarify, trifecta box, and we had this big debate beforehand. Trifecta box, you pick 3 horses, and they can finish anywhere in the top 3. All right, it's going to cost you some more money in terms of gambling. An actual trifecta without the box means that it has to be exact finishes. Sorry, go ahead.
No, that's important. So yeah, this is a trifecta box. King's Barnes.
Okay.
Forte. So I'm going 2 Fletcher.
So you say horses. With it Forte. That's how.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I'm going. The last one is Derma Sotogake.
Wow.
Japanese horse.
Dude, what? Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's got over $1 million in earnings, and he's 12-1 odds. I think it's a good little dark horse there.
Hold on, Trey. I'm writing these down. What was that last one?
It was Derma Sotogake.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
You're horrible. Oh man. Trent, do you have any picks? I mean, do you have anything?
Nah, listen. I am just strictly a fan. I have no evaluation on this. As you guys know, I'm a fan of just partaking in the Derby festivities. It's a reason to, in the month of May, besides a baseball game, to get together, have some fun.
Oh, yeah.
And like I said, for this type of event, sprinkle here and there. If you're really interested, do it. I would say, if I had to pick my winner based off of just a complete, like, excuse my language, badass name,
Yeah.
it would totally be Cyclone Mischief at 30-1. Did that blow your mind? Cyclone joke there. Okay.
Blew my mind.
There are some cool names.
Right?
Continuar.
Dude, I am all on board with these names. I mean, seriously, like Rocket Can. Woo.
So, hey, real quick,
Look at that one.
this is kind of
Sorry, that's the name of a horse, guys. Rocket Can.
Dude, that was actually one of the surprises. They said that, hey, keep an eye on him too. He could actually do something.
Dude,
but
if Rocket Can wins, we are blaring Elton John Rocket Man.
all right, I can do with that.
Yes, with some Woodford.
A horse to probably stay away from.
Yes.
Just because you don't know what the hell is going to happen.
Can kick you.
Is, let me find his odds, but the horse name is Skinner. Oh man, this is gonna get real bad.
Jeez,
all right,
Tyler,
his name is Skinner. He's 20-1, and I say stay away from it because the trainer is John Shreffs, and John Shreffs is the trainer that had the 2 horses drop dead. So,
oh golly,
that's what I mean. Like, looking at the name, like, what the heck? That's actually the name that survived.
Skinner.
What kind of coat is that there, John? Oh, said 2 now. Yeah, so that, I don't know, that would be one I'd probably stay away from. But like I said, we are not we're not experts on this at all. This is, about a week and a half here of some research that I've done, just kind of reading about the trainers and things of that sort. But
hey, real quick,
for what it's worth. Go ahead.
Just because I know we're about to close this up, and all our listeners, are gonna leave us here at the end of this episode. But if you had to name a horse, what would you name it?
oh man, how can you put that question on the spot?
Right now, you just gotta first things that come to your head. I mean, obviously, it could be a saying, a phrase, a name, a spit on a name.
Oh man,
wow. Shoo.
Horse name. I don't know. I think I would call mine Big Beards, No Whammies.
Oh, okay. Thought
Beards,
for the
beards.
way your kind of theme, I was expecting something more like morbid or death-like.
Wow,
But,
that's not I'm not the trainer. Yeah, I'd go Big Beards, No Whammies would be my horse's name.
Elmer's Encore. That's
Wow.
mine. There you go.
Is that a Glue reference, Trent?
Yeah.
Yes. Hey, the name sticks with you. Come on now, guys.
Gosh. There's so many things wrong with that name.
Yeah, Encore, right? See how it goes together?
That's horrible.
Yeah, sorry.
That's all right. Trey, anything, or just gonna sit there and ponder it in wonderment?
I would say
So,
Copernicus.
What the heck?
After my favorite astronomer.
Wow.
I guess I'll name mine Galileo.
Oh, gosh, guys.
Yeah, so...
Trey, one more time for me. What was that last horse in your trifecta? I didn't get the last.
That was the horse from Japan, Derma Sotogake.
Okay, thank you. Yep, got the whole name.
There's a couple Japanese horses in here.
Hey, there's a couple trainers, too.
Well,
Really?
Continuar, Mandarin Hero, and then my guy, Derma, is,
Yeah.
Looks like these odds are live.
What a powerful name, Sun Thunder. Like,
Where's
God.
that at? Where's Sun? I don't see that.
Sun Thunder, 50-1 odds. Lucky number 13. Lucky number 13.
If there was a horse I'd stay away from, it would be Mage, because it sounds like a disease or something.
I think I would maybe I'd name my horse Sun Thunder Thighs.
Oh, oh boy. Wow. Oh,
Or maybe even like Moon Crater.
oh man.
Yeah, I don't know. We could have a blast with that. Hey, if you're listening to this, tweet us your horse's name. All right, that'd be kind of cool to see.
Best horse's name. And Tyler, maybe we got to put our poll out for
I was
best
gonna say,
horse's name out there.
we might have to do that.
Yeah, we could even adjust ours, what we came up with tonight.
Yeah, we'll text them out. We'll put them out on the tweet.
I don't know if I want Copernicus to be my official horse name.
Dude, yeah, that was so boring.
I don't know. I feel like Copernicus is you now. Like, I can't look at you and not think Copernicus. You know? For some reason, you saying Copernicus makes me want to name a horse Constantinople for some reason. But
the old capital of Turkey, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've been watching a lot of Vikings on Netflix, and that just came up recently. So, I'm sorry.
AKA, he's been watching himself in the mirror. He looks like a Viking.
Yes.
Yep. Well, hey, just a couple things here to put out there for preparation-wise. We are looking to bring on our second guest, which will actually be taking place in middle of May. Already confirmed with him today. So what we're looking at is said the 18th.
2 weeks from now. It's May 17th is when when our guest is coming on.
May 17th. Okay, I might have to double check and verify that with him. But yeah, so May 17th is when we're looking at. Yep, 17th. May 17th is when we're going to bring our second guest on. His name's Derek Hess. So give him a shout out. I'll put his Twitter handle in here. Let you guys kind of check him out. But he is going to be discussing baseball with us. We're going to look at some different things in terms of favorites, some gambling stuff. Derek's a big on. He's got a lot of information on sports gambling with baseball. He runs a lot of his own models. He does a lot of his own research with stuff in terms of ballparks and factors and home run X factors and things of that sort too. So he's a very knowledgeable person in terms of MLB stuff. But
he does a lot of the dirty work, digging up a lot of the good stats that most people don't have.
We've had some conversations, and some of the stuff he's like, "Yo, check this guy, check this person," and he even gave me his numbers and stats and stuff. I was like, "Wow, like this is really impressive." So he's going to be a great guest to have on here in about 2 weeks. Also an avid sports card collector, which
that's right.
Tell you what, I'll have to send you guys a picture. But he just sent me a card today that he just bought. It's Peter Weber, and it's signed that says, "Who do you think you are? I am."
Oh, yes, throwback.
From bowling. So, yeah, he texted me a picture of that, dude. I said, that's the greatest sports card, especially sports card autograph, that I've ever seen. So, one of the greatest videos ever. Who do you think you are? I am. But, yeah, so that's coming up. We're also looking to have a couple more guests on, kind of moving in the summertime. Probably some more baseball stuff. Maybe we'll bring, Corey back on at some point, maybe when we get close to the NHL finals. So we'll kind of look at some of that stuff and see. But, yeah, if you have anybody or would be somebody that's interested in being a guest on our show, just give us a tweet. Let us know what's up at Bearded Baker Bet. And I'd like to kind of give a quick shout-out, to our website. Check us out. It's www.beardedbakerbrothers.com. We try to update that, daily, weekly kind of thing to keep things kind of up to date with everything. But you can access all of our stuff, our tweets. You can actually play our podcast right from the website itself. And we also have an app out too right now too, so which you can find by scanning the QR code on our website. But yeah, check that stuff out. That's kind of where we're going with some things. And definitely, I know I've had some requests. Bearded Baker Brew Views is coming soon. All right, so we're gonna start reviewing some beers and stuff on there too. We got a couple of brewers and things that we want to bring onto the podcast as possible guests as well. So let us know if you want to actually share that experience with us on our podcast. So Bearded Baker Banter, guys, appreciate it. Great night.
Heck yeah, good talking to you fellas.
Yes, and keep an eye out for some baseball boards this weekend, everybody.
Yep,
we'll put some out.
Yep, I think we're gonna try to get a board out probably tomorrow. So
heck yeah.
All right. Hey,
alrighty.
Sounds good. Appreciate you guys.
All right, take it easy, fellas.
All right, have a great night.